welcome to your number one talk show, Spilling the Tea, with your host, Jazzy. Today we are going to be talking about the novel Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and unravel the story behind the independent, intelligent young girl Jane Eyre. Stay tuned with us today to discover all the romantic drama, family issues, and scandal following her. So please join me in a round of applause for Jane Eyre.
Alright, thanks for having me.
So Jane, why don't we go from the beginning? Tell me of your upbringing.
My upbringing was a little rough. So I was taken in by Miss Reed, my aunt, who made a promise to my uncle. While they were my family, I did not consider them as my family. Because of this, I didn't have a true home. I didn't feel like I belonged there. And I also had a sense that everyone there did not like me very much. My only true friend, or rather my mother figure at the time, was Bessie.
So it was very difficult. So I understand that you moved to Lowood, the school?
Yeah, out of spite, Miss Reed sent me over there. And while I was excited because Bessie taught me that I would be able to learn French and drawing over there, I also learned a form of Christianity I was not technically comfortable with. It was where women was taught not to have shiny things. I was to be dull. I was to be kind of like senseless. And the owner of the place, Mr. Brocklehurst, was like, he did not even pay attention to his own religion, really. He had his own little expensive things, who dolled up his daughters when I was not able to doll myself, and because of that, I didn't follow this kind of Christianity.
Very difficult, I can tell. But I understand you met another girl, yes? One by the name of Helen Burns, who we will meet right after this commercial break.
And we're back from our commercial break. During the break, our other host was sidetracked with some dogs outside the studio. But don't worry, the better host is here now anyway. And joining the show with us, we have Jane's friend from Lowood, Miss Helen Burns. Thank you for being here, Helen. Good to see you. So let me ask you some questions about Jane. You met her at school at Lowood, correct?
Yes, I did.
And what did you think of her?
So much, but anyways. Oh, she was a rather curious and outspoken young girl. At least towards me, that was. I could tell she only wanted to go to school, wishing to redeem from her mistakes and the last estate.
Wow, all right. And what type of Christianity did you follow?
My two most important ones is tolerance and patience. While I was treated harshly, punished constantly by one of my teachers, I believed I deserved this type of punishment. I did wrong, and therefore I must be punished. I must pursue my faith.
But Jane didn't agree with this faith, right?
No, she did not.
All right, now Jane, tell me in front of your dearest friend, what was wrong with Helen's religion?
A lot of things. Well, I saw Helen's religion as purely tolerance and forgiveness. This was not something I fully agreed with in comparison to Mr. Brocklehurst. Helen was really treated badly by the other teachers, and while I saw her as like patience, I for one cannot be like that. Some people describe me as like a free bird. I don't think I should be punished for something I shouldn't do, and that type of thing would hold me down. So it was not a religion I could really particularly follow. Sorry, Helen.
Oh, how interesting. Anyway, thank you for your time, Helen. But coming up next after the break, we have Mr. Rochester, who everyone's been waiting for. Sorry about that, Helen.
It's okay.
All right, we'll be back after the break.
And we're back. The other host, or rather less host, could not make it in today. But I'm back, and the dogs were fine and fantastic. I wish someone didn't steal my shirt, though. Okay, Nevertheless, here we are with the fantastic Jane and her lovely husband, who will be coming with us to talk, Mr. Rochester. So please give him a round of applause.
Over here.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Mr. Rochester, that was quite a scene walking in here. How are you today?
I'm great, especially now that I'm here with my loving wife, Jane, wherever she is. Oh, hello. Okay, I'm here.
You look great too. So, can you tell me the story of you and Jane?
Yes, when I first met Jane, I studied her composition, and I decided that my little elf was to be mine. So to do this, I employed Ingram to be my wife-to-be to make Jane jealous.
You didn't have to do that.
I'm extra, actually, and you didn't have to ditch us at our wedding.
Whoa. why would you leave Mr. Rochester, Jane?
All in good reason, actually. I am not one. I did not wish to be adorned with jewels. I didn't want to be his pet. Also, social standing was a really big thing. Because I was his governess, I wasn't politically off. I felt as if I wasn't worthy to be a wife for him. And also, I didn't want to be oppressed like most women in this era. And also, like his other wife, Bertha Mason.
Other wife? Okay, Mr. Rochester, do you have any explanation for this?
Yes, my explanation is that my wife is mentally ill. She's a lunatic.
Which you kept oppressed. That didn't work out.
Oh, well, what a rather romantic story, I guess, from the lovely couple. Well, thank you for coming in, Mr. Rochester. We're going to be replacing you, as your wife did before. But Mr. St. John will be taking your place, and thank you. Now we'll be getting ready for this commercial break. And we're here again. So we had Helen Burns and Edward Rochester on the show. Now we will be introducing another man that was in Jane's life, Mr. St. John.
Hey, it's
Hello,
good to
Mr.
be
St.
here.
John.
Good to be here. Oh, hi, Jane.
I can feel the heat. And thank you, Mr. St. John, for being here with us today.
Of
I
course.
understand it's really complicated and busy in your life since of your missionary work. But tell me, how did you and Jane meet?
I met Jane when she arrived at my house, and she was pretty sickly, but I helped her and nurtured her back to health and realized what a kind woman she was.
And I understand that both of you were going to get married?
Yeah, that was the plan, but that eventually didn't happen.
Jane, what happened?
He didn't love me, he loved another person. He only wanted me because I would be a good missionary wife, which doesn't work out, so no.
And all I have to say about that is it's in God's hands, and if only she would understand that.
Well, my own interpretation of God is that I'm not a person who advocates for no passion, and Rochester showed me that your religion had no passion.
Well, St. John, thank you for coming here tonight. You can leave now. Thanks for your insight. So, since St. John left, I would like to ask you a few questions, Jane. So, I see that through your course of life, you had several hardships. Do you have anything you can advise to the audience today?
I wish to tell the audience that in the midst of this rigid social society, there is still a voice inside of me and probably inside of you. And while I am happy to have probably more money from my uncle and I am married to Mr. Rochester, I understand I must keep a humble place here.
Throughout the novel, you are seen as a feminist character, yes?
I believe that love and marriage should not oppress women and it should be of equalness and love. And I kind of wish that people didn't see me as a strong feminist, but someone who wished for independence to be set free, as I've shown through most of the proposals given to me. I'm happy to report that I found a place where I belong, which I didn't get before, and that I have my own interpretation of Christianity. Thank you.
Throughout the novel of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, it was based upon family, independence, passion, liberation, and illusion through God, overall making it a wonderful novel. So thank you for being here, Jane Eyre, and give a round of applause for tuning in today on Spilling the Tea.